What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a live stream here. So let's go ahead and check, make sure everything's running smoothly here. A live stream here. So let's go ahead and check, make sure everything's running smoothly here. All right, so we should be up and running. So never mind my voice and my hair. I just woke up. I'm not showering beforehand because I'm going to be going on a run before, I guess I should say after the live stream. So we're here in spring training. I played a game by myself the other day, just kind of wanted to just play. And I'm going to go through this right here and then we'll get right into a game. But I wanted to get a game in because I was curious with these new guys. And then we got demolished. So it was not a good game at all. Jake Berger went 3 for 4. And you probably saw it. He had 3 home runs. We allowed 4 home runs. Jake Berger hit 3 of them. So not a good day for us at all. We struck out 8 times. And then looking at the offensive output, we had 3 hits. 2 of them were by Matt McLean and 1 of them were by Ellie De La Cruz. So Matt McLean will get the start in the one that we see today, just because I want to get some more opportunities with him. And then other than that, everybody else really struggled. We had a stolen base for Ellie De La Cruz. And then looking at the pitching, the only 2 pitchers that didn't allow a run were Tony Santillan and Austin Davis. Austin Davis was our, was it the Rule 5 draft pickup? So, and Tony Santillan was perfect in that game. If you want to talk about completely perfect, Austin Davis was completely perfect. He did not allow a single base runner. So you can look at, how our starters did. Wasn't the greatest showing. Let's just put it that way. So I wanted to take a look at Jake Berger, to be honest with you, real quick. Here we are. And the crazy thing is, I think he was hitting left-handed pitching potentially, but he was crushing the ball. There's no way he's not making their active roster just by the way that he performed. I mean, that was incredible. And I really was not good at all. So looking at free agency real quick, here are a couple guys that are still left that we could pick up. Some of these guys in the bullpen. Basically, if you just go through, you can kind of see what we're looking at here. You got Yuri Gurriel at 39 years old. Could play a first base position for us if we needed him to come on and play. Interesting. G-Man Choi is here. Williams Astudillo. Here's Matt Reynolds, which we decided to drop him. And then you got Josh Harrison, Cesar Hernandez. All right. Just making sure there's nobody here that we couldn't sign to like a cheap contract. Somebody that we could stake down in our minor league system. We got Elvis Andrus. John Birdie, he's here. He's got the speed. Jose Iglesias has got real good contact. 34 years old, but I mean, really find it hard to believe that he couldn't. Like 2023 with Miami, at 266. I mean, kind of find it hard to believe this guy couldn't still be playing on a team. And the fact that he's a free agent is kind of crazy. Then same with AJ Pollock. I mean, this guy can crush left-handed pitching, and nobody's really interested in having him on a squad. I mean, he can crush left-handed pitching. He might be a guy that we look at before the season gets started. As a matter of fact, we could go ahead and sign him to a minor league contract right now. I don't know how much it would take if we just signed it would be quite expensive. And then Andrew McCutchen there as well. Robbie Grossman. All right, we just wanted to go through that real quick and show you that. And then we have contract extensions ourselves that we can offer to people. At the moment, I'm not going to offer anybody yet. If I was going to offer anybody, it probably would be a Jonathan India, and he's only looking for about $4.2 million. 4.3 for Jake Fraley, and then Lucas Sims is looking for 3.7. Those are the guys that I'm mainly looking at getting into a long-year deal. Alex Reyes is another guy that I am interested because the fact he's 71 overall, 8 potential, 29 years old, unfortunately getting older. But I really do think that he could grow into becoming a really dominant relief pitcher for us. And then the last thing I wanted to look at before we get started is the budget. our budget this year, our payroll is $87 million this year, and we have our highest paid players right here. The top 3 are guys that we have locked down for the future, and that's Tyler Stevenson, Elly De La Cruz, and Hunter Green. So that's perfect. Those are guys already on our roster. And then coming in next, you have our free agent additions who are all old, but we have them locked down for 2 years. So we got C.J. Cron, Randall Grichuk, Gio Urshela, and Jesse Winker. And then a little bit further, you have Nick Lodolo, and then here's Alex Reyes, Alexis Diaz, Joey Lucchese. So a lot of guys here making more money than in the past for sure. So I don't know if we can look at other people's budgets. We can't. So, you know, I think that if you really look at it, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Only 23 players making over $1 million. So, not too bad at all. So, with that being said, let's get going. I'm going to play this game against the Los Angeles Dodgers with Andrew Abbott on the mound. So, we'll go ahead and simulate these first 2 games. And we lose both of them. So, we have really struggled here in spring training. Nick Senzel with a hit in this game. Tyler Stevenson 1 for 3. Randall Grichuk goes 1 for 1. And Jake Fraley goes 1 for 2. Gio Urshela 1 for 3. A home run for Stevenson. Lodolo went 3 innings pitched. So Lodolo really was good in this game. So I think 3 innings is probably what we're going to get out of Andrew Abbott in the next game. Then Hunter Green came on again. Did good. Will Smith. Santillan allowed 3 earned. So that's not good for him. Carl Edwards and then Joe Jimenez also allowed runs. And then this game against Texas Rangers, Elly goes 0 for 2. Tyler Stevenson goes 2 for 3, so that's good for him. Heriberto Hernandez goes 1 for 1. Pretty good. C.J. Cron 0 for 2. Jake Fraley 2 for 3. Cam Collier goes 1 for 2. Gio Urshela 1 for 4. Nick Plummer 1 for 4. Doubles for Collier and Plummer. Elly De La Cruz with another error in the field, so that's not good. And then looking at the pitching, 3 innings for Ashcraft. He allows 1. Nick Lodolo comes in. So that's what it's looking like. Ashcraft would be the guy that would relieve Andrew Abbott. Will Smith struggled again. Tony Santillan bounces back. Joe Jimenez, Brad Hand, and Carl Edwards. So looked good. I think that's exactly what we were looking to see. So let's get into a game here with Andrew Abbott on the mound here against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Looks like it's going to be raining during this. Make sure the live stream's good. Looking to go for maybe no more than 2 hours in this one. So let's go Andrew Abbott. And then I want to get a start. Encarnacion Strand has really struggled. So we're going to take him out of the lineup. And let's get Matt McClain into the lineup here. I think that could benefit him. Stevenson, he's got 8 at-bats on the so far. Let's get Heriberto Hernandez out there again. Give Stevenson the day off. C.J. Cron, I want to continue to see him. He hasn't gotten a hit yet. Right-handed pitching, so we're going to go Jake Fraley on left. Cam Collier at DH. Am I okay with that? Yeah, I think Cam Collier there is fine. Winker in right. Do we want to go Winker in right? Or do we want to go... Because Will Benson's not going to be really competing. Let's go... We can go Austin Hendrick. And then Urshela at second. I want to continue to get at-bats with him. And then in center, we could go... Here's what we're going to do. In center, we're going to go Matt McClain. Because he can play the outfield. So let's get some... Let's let him show us what he can do in center field. And then at shortstop, we'll go Elly De La Cruz. And then third base will be Spencer Steer. I think that's what we're going to go with in this game. Noelvi Marte only has 1 at-bat. I'm not focused on getting him playing time. I want to get Steer because this is a guy who's only got 1 at-bat, and he's going to be a starter for us, potentially. So what do we want the lineup to look like? De La Cruz, and then we'll go with... Let's go with Steer. And then a 3-hitter, we'll go with Fraley, and then Cron, and then Collier, then Hendrick, and then Urshela, Hernandez, and then Matt McClain. So that's what we'll go with. That's what the lineup's going to look like for the spring training game. So let's get it started here. Fraley batting .429, Hernandez .333, and Matt McClain .500. So a couple guys without hits: Steer, Crone, and Hendrick. So I want to make sure that we're getting equal playing time for just about everybody. Anybody that's on this 40-man is all competing for a spot. If they show out in spring training and the sample size is more than 10 at-bats or 3 innings pitched, then I think that they would have a chance to make the team. Like if they go out and have 30 at-bats and they hit 400 with 4 home runs, they're going to have a chance to make the team for sure. So we're going to be facing Tony Gonsolin. He's not a pitcher that is easy to face. I did forget to check. I think the Reds City Connect uniforms are in the game now. And Tony Gonsolin went 18-1 last year with a 3.02 ERA. And here we go. Ellie De La Cruz batted .299 last year in the minimum playing time that he had. So looking to get some better results out of him here in spring training. That one is strike number 1. I would like to play 2 games potentially, but if we're running low on time, the second game could be a quick counts game potentially. So we'll just go with the flow here. I would like to get about midway through spring training in this live. And De La Cruz goes down swinging as Tony Gonsolin with a 3-pitch strikeout. Not good. So here's Spencer Steer now. Like I said, a guy that would probably be a starter for us. Unless like a Christian Encarnacion Strand can start to improve upon what he hasn't really showed. So and I should not have swung at that. Now if Encarnacion Strand's ratings were put into the game now, the way he's playing in AAA, I think that he would be a lot better. I think he'd be potentially an A potential guy, sitting in the high 60s overall with crazy power numbers. So 2-2 count to Steer here as he'll take ball 3. So runs the count full, and Jake Fraley is on deck, which is slowly becoming one of my favorite hitters on this team. And Steer goes right up the middle, and he'll be on base here. So, and the thing about Spencer Steer is he hits lefties a lot better than he hits righties. Kind of sucks that we're playing a game that is extremely rainy. Nobody wants to really see that, but it is what it is at this point. So here's Fraley. Splitter, we call it a strike. Fraley is a really good hitter against right-handed pitching. He just lifts that one in the left field. We'll get back with Steer. I think that's 2 outs now. We already saw the lineup, so no reason to look at that. And here's C.J. Crone. He batted .234 last year for the Colorado Rockies. And here in spring training, he is hitless in his first 3 games. Umpire went crazy there. I try and not show many replays like I would if I was recording the... Oh my gosh. I think I did that in the game I played by myself against the Guardians too. I just couldn't do anything with Crone at the plate. Crone is old, so that is one thing you got to think about with his 2-year deal. Is at the end of his 2-year deal, he's probably going to be gone. We probably wouldn't re-sign him, but he's a guy that we kind of want to fill in at that first base position for these next 2 years, and then maybe a guy like Felipe Campaneris can play it. As that one is lifted into left center field, and that'll do it for the top half of the first. So, but yeah, like I said, I think that Crone is a guy we want to put at first for about 2 years, and then at that point, I think a guy like Steer or Felipe Campaneris or Christian Encarnacion Strand could be ready to go to play that every day first, or a guy like Heriberto Hernandez could be ready to play every day at catcher, and Stevenson move over to first. But I think that having Crone at first for 2 years gives us that chance where we can allow that to happen. And we can be patient and not rush putting one of these young guys over at first base. We can stick Crone there. And I think it's the same thing with having a guy like Gio Urshela. Is if one of our young guys isn't ready, we don't have to feel rushed because we have Urshela. And as a matter of fact, I probably should have started India today and just brought Urshela off the bench. But I wanted to get a game with him because you guys haven't seen him yet. As India will be our starting second baseman. There is no reason that he won't be. So Andrew Abbott, we talked about him last season in one of the videos. He is a guy who will most definitely be competing for a job in the starting rotation, probably as our number 4 guy. And if he goes out here and pitches well in spring training, he most definitely will be making the big league roster. As this one's lifted in the left. And that's one thing about Abbott that I noticed when we played that game with him. I think he had like 1 strikeout, but he induces such soft contact that's what made him really good. And here is the Dodgers lineup. They got Edmund, Rojas, Freeman, Betts, Smith, Chapman, Taylor, Haggerty, and Vargas. I forgot that they got Matt Chapman, so that's not fun. Here's Miguel Rojas now. And then Shohei Ohtani, if you guys all forgot, Shohei Ohtani signed to the Chicago White Sox. So Shohei Ohtani on the Chicago White Sox in this series. That was probably the biggest deal that we saw. And if you didn't watch our live stream for the offseason, Urshela and Crone, Randall Grichuk, and then a couple of relievers, I should say a plethora of relievers, are what really headlines our free agent pickups. I don't think I'm missing anybody. I could potentially, but I don't think I'm missing anybody. And here is Abbott versus Freddie Freeman now, as he gets Freddie Freeman to swing through the first pitch. Freeman's not a real good hitter against left-handed pitching, it would appear. Perfect changeup for Abbott. High fastball for ball number 1. So he doesn't have a slider. I would give him that slider to the lefty because it's a hard pitch to hit. We'll go curveball, see if we can't. Lucky that that was not crushed. Yeah, I think the thing that I'm most excited for with this series is getting through spring training, finding out who makes the roster. Oh, dang it. Hendrick gets there, that's good. So getting through there, finding out who makes this big league roster, and then moving our way towards scouting so that we can see who, who are the guys we're going to be looking for. Where do we pick as well? We were the 6th worst team. Are we going to be picking 6th? Are we going to be picking 3rd or 1st? We don't know yet. So that's probably at this point what I'm most excited for. Figure out where we're going to be picking and moving from there. Because I think this season right here will be another season that moves kind of like the first season, but then it will begin to pick up for sure. So the plan with the first episode of season 2 is to do opening day, as Hernandez can't get there. The plan is to go through opening day and then go to the first scouting session, and then that will be it for episode number 1 of the 2nd season. Kind of turned into a long inning here for Andrew Abbott, as he hasn't struggled. I don't think he's been bad at all. I just think these batters are doing a good job at fouling things off and staying alive and not chasing. Good change up there for Abbott. Let's go 2-seam and see if we can get it to run away from the plate a little bit. We do. And so pretty much it was just poked out there by Betts, and Fraley's there to make the play to end the first inning. Good job by Andrew Abbott. Here's Cam Collier. He's got 1 hit, I do believe, here in spring training. He's the one guy that I think is closest to being called up out of all of our minor league guys, which is crazy to say. But at 19 years old, this guy can rake. He looks really good. I think that he has potential to be like another Eddie De La Cruz for this franchise. And another guy could come up and be like, wow, these guys are good. And they both could be playing on that left side of the infield. 2-0 count here for Collier. And he'll swing on the splitter. for strike number 1. Ah, high fastball. Those are hard to judge right there because they're hard to catch up to. Here's Collier's. Check swing, so 3-2 count now. I'm just going to normal swing here on the 3-2 count. Pressure's on Gonsolin. That was not the pitch to swing at. A little antsy up there. Oh my gosh. The splitter right down the middle, and Collier can't. I mean, good swing timing and everything. That's crazy that he did not hit that. Here's Austin Hendrick now. A guy that I think could have been competing for a starting position had he continued his success in the minors last year. But that success started to kind of quiet down. It kind of started to die down a little bit. And that is what led to him just staying at AAA and not being called up at the September call-ups. So, probably, I mean, he's still competing for a spot and could be a utility outfield man, but he's going to really have to show out here in spring training to get that job. But here's Gio Urshela now. I think a guy that is going to be the best, he could be the best infield utility guy in baseball this season. Splitter right down the middle, just hard to time it up. And then Urshela can play first base as well. So if C.J. Cron is really struggling, there's no reason that Gio Urshela can't step in and play first base for us. Strike 3 down at the knees. So not a good start for us offensively. All right, here's Will Smith to the plate now. We have our own Will Smith. We don't need that Will Smith. I think Abbott, just when you throw with him, it feels like he's able to place the pitches where you want them. You know, this one I want on the outside. Leaves it up. But if you're not gonna hit where I want you to hit, at least hit outside the zone. Because the worst is when something like that. That was right in the middle. I was just trying to hype him up. So leadoff base runner for the Dodgers here. Yeah, right down the middle, literally. And that one was too, and that one is gone. Chapman sends that one out in a hurry. And Andrew Abbott. Left the curveball hanging. And so we'll bring in Graham Ashcraft. Well, not bring him in right now, but we'll warm him up. That will be the guy that will be first out of the bullpen. And then we'll roll into the rest of the guys that we have. Now, if they're a starter, normally a starter and they're in the bullpen, they're not going to come in today because they will slowly take over the starting rotation, and our first 3 guys like Ashcraft, Lodolo, and Green will be done for spring training. For the most part, they shouldn't really see any more action the way I'll have it set up. Just because I don't think that they need to be throwing, because there are starters. Is the progression going to be really that much in a couple of starts of spring training? I don't think so. Here's Sam Haggerty now at the plate for the Dodgers. So this is the team here, Cincinnati Reds, here in spring training that are not off to a great start at the moment. Yeah, I think that was a strike anyway. That's why I'm going to... Man, his numbers against lefties are really good. Sam Haggerty. Man, he's leaving these right down the middle. .101 off the bat. Come on, Abbott. Let's go 2-seam fastball, see if we can't ground him into a double play. That one will be foul. Okay. There's one, and there is two. So double play to end the second inning. Matt Chapman with the 2-run home run for the Dodgers. Can our offense get anything going here? Here's Heriberto Hernandez, a guy that I went and played with a little bit at Double-A, and I really enjoyed playing with him. Just early on that splitter, gosh. Traded for Hernandez. We sent Will Myers over to Tampa. It was Will Myers and Jason Voster over to Tampa for Hernandez. And will he be ready for some big league baseball? I mean, maybe. We will find out. That's what you need to do on an 0-2 count. You go contact and you have good swing timing. Unfortunately, you just hit the ball up and straight into the air. But at least you're making contact and you are not striking out. Here's Matt McClain now. He's batting 500 for us down at spring training. I really want this guy to succeed because I want him at the big league level. And the reason I want him at the big league level is because of what he's doing in real life. You know, I think it's time. He swings at the slider, 0-2 count. And Tony Gonsolin, big thing with him right now is he's not falling behind in the count pitching. He is throwing strikes. And then, is that splitter? Is that his second pick? Second pitch, yeah. Good eye by McClain. I think when you're playing with a guy like Matt McClain too, I think sometimes it's more beneficial to be more patient with certain hitters. Follow their tendencies. If they're a guy who is somebody supposed to battle at the plate and watch pitches, and then do that. But if they're an aggressive hitter, like I would say, and he's safe. So I mean, that's what you do. You make contact. You can get on base. Yeah, that's exactly what you can do by making contact. Like a Joey Votto, for example. This guy is a patient hitter. We still do have him on the team, just down at the AAA level. Or you got guys like Fernando Tatis, I would say, is more of like an aggressive hitter. He's probably going to swing more likely on first pitch a lot more. Should we try to steal with McClain? I think we can see what kind of wheels he's got. We'll just watch one more pitch here and see what happens. Dang, man. De La Cruz gets a fastball right down the middle and he can't do nothing with it. That is unfortunate. Let's try and go with a hit and run here. We're not going to go hit and run. I think McClain's going to just swipe the bag. When you see that they get a great jump, you know, if your plan is hit and run, if they get a great jump and you know they got good speed, I think just don't even swing. But if they get a terrible jump, then I think you swing. But not to mention the pitch wasn't good, so don't risk it. And McClain got a real good jump, so there's a stolen base for him. Take a leadoff second here. And, you know, that's big time because if he could swipe that bag and get on second in the regular season, you know, that can lead to more runs. Base knock would score him at this point. Man, splitter is a really good pitch. 2-2 count. Perfect slider. Oh my goodness. Alright, so no hits for us. We did get reach on an error. And here's Tommy Edman, and this is also going to be Andrew Abbott's last inning of work. Fraley. We haven't really seen McClain have to do anything in center field yet. Actually, I don't even remember if anybody has hit the ball to him. And McClain can play center, and I think center is a position that we kind of are lacking on what we have. Here's Hendrick in on that ball, and he's there, so. Yeah, maybe we do start working Noelvi Marte out at short as spring training goes along, because if he can succeed, maybe he is our starting shortstop. And we move De La Cruz to third, and then McClain plays in center. If McClain continues to, you know, get on base and show that he is a critical role to the team. So got a quick 2 outs to start the bottom of the third, and then Freddie Freeman with a 2-out double. We'll keep it moving here. Here's Mookie Betts to the plate now. Whew, almost hit him there. 2-0 count. So I got a 2-seam away. Now you got a 3-0 on Mookie Betts. Do you really want to go change up? That could be hanging. Oh my gosh. Alright, so he'll walk Mookie. I'm going to try and get one more out. If Will Smith reaches, I think we're going to have to just go ahead and pull Andrew Abbott. He has not pitched terrible, though. If he gets out of this inning, he'll finish the day with a 6 flat ERA, which could be a lot worse. We've got guys that are up in the 11s and 18s, and so can we get out of it? We do. So Hernandez gathers, throws on to Crone, and that ends the 3rd inning, and that will end Andrew Abbott's first spring training appearance. As here's Clayton Kershaw now. And with Kershaw coming out, it makes it interesting. We've seen a lot of Jake Fraley. We know he's going to be our not everyday starting left fielder, but we know that he will be playing against right-handed pitching. We know that. But we need to get looks with Chad Pender and Randall Grichuk. How many at-bats? It doesn't say how many at-bats they've had. But I know Pender hasn't had an at. He might have had like 1 or 2 at-bats here in spring training, but yeah, I don't remember seeing him. So we're going to bring Pender on to play against Kershaw here. Just because I know this is a guy who he can play left field, so that's why we moved him there. And he can hit left-handed pitching. Along with Grichuk, one of those guys will win that position. Terrible strike call there. Terrible, terrible. So 0-2 count, you know, you got to go contact here, even though Pender is more of a power guy, and he's just going to hit this one straight to the left fielder. Yeah, but one of these guys, Pender or Grichuk, will win that starting position in left field. Who it is yet, I don't know. We will find out shortly. So here's CJ Cron now, 0 for 1, still without a hit in spring training. On the high fastball, I mean 92 mile per hour fastball, you cannot be late on. Turns on the fastball in. These guys are just pitching strikes. No way around it. I mean, these pitchers are just coming in here and they are throwing straight strikes, and if you can't hit it, you can't hit it. Crone is struggling here in spring training. Here's Cam Collier now. That's a hard pitch right there, because dang it, man, we are just not doing good at all. And to the top of the 4th, so we'll continue. We'll move on here. Pender will be out in left now, and we'll bring on Graham Ashcraft to pitch 1 inning. Give him 1. As last year, he was our best starter. Could he potentially be our opening day starter, maybe? I'm going to say no. I think it's probably going to go to Hunter Green again. And then after Ashcraft, we'll sit and we'll talk about what the plan is. Good cutter. Good slider for Ashcraft. Does not strike a lot of guys out. Let's go to bullpen here. Heasley, like these guys right here, are not guys that we're going to see yet. We've seen Lucchese. We've seen Bickford. He's a relief pitcher, so that's why. And then Dunn. Petty we've seen, which now Chase Petty looks different, which is a little weird. All right, let's go. We're going to go with Austin Davis and Alex Reyes. Or as a matter of fact, let's sit down Reyes. We'll go with Justin Dunn, and we'll see him next. The reason I'm gonna go Dunn is because I'm not gonna move him into the starting rotation, just because he had his chance last year and he didn't really take advantage of it. Now, if he would have dominated out of the starting rotation, he would have been in the starting rotation here in spring training. And if he would have dominated in his first outing, he's probably locked up to one of the starting roles. Really good pitching on display here for Grant Mashcraft. We're going to go slider out again. And that one's sent in deep left center field. Pender's on the move. And it's off the top of the wall. And now Matt McLain isn't getting... What in the world is going on? So, if you're asking me, that should be an error. I don't know what Matt McLain was doing. I don't know what Chad Pender was doing. I mean, Matt McLain is not a traditional center fielder. Chad Pender is not traditionally a left fielder. So I don't think these guys know what they're doing. That was weird. And we're not going to be credited an error on that one. That was just real strange there. And that was stupid. Run will score anyway. That was real dumb. You know, even if you were going to try and get him out, we don't really have time for glove taps and everything like that, what Urshela did. Should have just taken the out at first. Bases would be cleared at that point. Instead, Ashcraft's outing looks really bad. Urshela on the second. De La Cruz on the first in. It does not matter too much, as I think the run was scored because of the miscue out in the outfield. Here's Gavin Stone now. He'll face Hendrick, who's 0 for 1. Can we please get a base hit? Please, that's all that I ask for. You know, Hendrick could potentially be a guy that replaces Jesse Winker for us. That's another thing I forgot. Jesse Winker, we brought him back to Cincinnati. So, me personally, I saw him out there and nobody was offering. And I was like, I got to take advantage of it because Jesse Winker is one of my favorite players of all time. And I'm a Reds fan. So let's bring this guy back. So we signed him to a 2-year deal. And there's a good chance he could be our everyday right fielder or potentially our everyday DH. We'll figure that out. And there's Hendrick down the line, and it's going to be a fair ball. Can we see the speed by Hendrick? He'll be into second with a leadoff double. Austin Hendrick turning on the pitch there. What was that? That was a 4-seam fastball. Good hitting right there for Austin Hendrick. And now Gio Urshela to the plate. Can you get back the one run that... I wouldn't say he was responsible for the run, but the mistake in the field, can he get back for it? He can, so don't think we're not going to send Hendrick here. We're just going to have runners on the corner. But a nice solid hit for Gio Urshela there. And here's Heriberto Hernandez. He's got 1 RBI here in spring training. He's 0 for 1 on the day. That's such a hard pitch to not swing at. I want to swing at that one, but it's just trying to be a little... There it is again. So we should back-to-back pitches there. Literally in the same spot. So now we got to go contact here with Hernandez. Alright, good eye by Heriberto Hernandez. Alright, 3-2 count now, so now do we go back to a normal swing? I think we do. Gavin Stone hasn't been able to find his zone in the last few pitches, so. And he just killed it. Heriberto Hernandez with a 3-run homer, and we're tied in this game, so. I'm not going to lie to you, the way that one sounded off the bat, I was kind of confused on what just happened. Because it did not sound hard off the bat. If you go back and listen to that, that did not sound like it was hit hard. I mean, that sounded like it was like a pop-up to the third baseman. And instead, he kills it. 400-plus feet for Heriberto Hernandez, and we're tied. And this is a guy who is working on potentially being and definitely will be at the big league level, I think, at this point. .411. Finally, something to look forward to here in spring training. That was beautiful. Oh my goodness, Matt McLain throws his bat. Hopefully that didn't injure a fan or anything. That's not Matt McLain like right there. That's why he threw the bat. He was mad at himself. All right, now the pitcher maybe throwing at him a little bit. Is the dugout for the Dodgers over there on the left side, potentially? I'm actually interested. No, so that's our dugout. So I don't know why he would be throwing at us. 2-1 count here for McLain. All right, so there's strike 2, 2-2 count now for McLain. He's 0 for 1, but he did reach on an error, so that will at least go towards his on-base percentage. There's a 3-2 count. Bloops this one in the right field. Can it get down? No. I thought it was going to get down, and that's what I was about to say again. You make contact, you gave yourself a chance to get on base. Here's Elly De La Cruz. He's 0 for 2. This will be his last at-bat of this game. And then we'll start working on getting some substitutions in there. Probably right after. All right, there's a nice smack by De La Cruz, and it gets down for a single. See, De La Cruz and McLain got to be two different types of guys. They both play the same position, but they're different. De La Cruz can be aggressive in counts. Matt McLain, because he doesn't have the greatest hitting stats, he needs to become more patient. We're going to get a stolen base with De La Cruz right here. As his speed is just too much, we gotta continue to try and swipe these bags here with De La Cruz. I think he could be a 30-30 guy potentially. We're gonna tag here with De La Cruz. We're gonna test Mookie Betts' arm. I think. I mean, the fact that you're halfway there and then you decide no, we're going back. Not testing his arm. Here's Chad Pender now. I'm gonna check something. Pender against righties doesn't hit very well. Randall Grichuk, on the other hand, does. So we'll substitute Pender for Grichuk, and he'll hit. I want to give these guys each a chance to succeed in what they do better at. As far as left-handed pitching goes, both these guys' stats look good. As far as right-handed pitching, Randall Grichuk does seem to hit right-handed pitching a little bit better. That's a strike, I guess. 181 homers for Grichuk on his career. Could he hit 200 with us? That one's a slider away. Try and steal a bag here with see, you take that second lead, and most times the pitcher will just step off. We're gonna steal. And he's thrown out. We tried it. No sense in not trying it. Good inning for us there. Grichuk will move to third, and then we'll go to substitutions, and then we'll also take De La Cruz out, and we'll put Bobby Marte in. And then we'll also take Spencer Steer out and put Christian Encarnacion Strand into the game. And then Ashcraft out, and we will put Justin Dunn into the game. See, yeah, like last year, he was given the chance when we saw Luke Weaver and Luis Cessa be traded. Justin Dunn was given a chance. Brandon Williamson was given a chance in. Somebody else was too. I can't remember who it was right now. As Hendrick gets back there, put away Tommy Edman. They were given a chance, and none of them, except for really Brandon Williamson took advantage of that opportunity. So, you know, could Williamson and Andrew Abbott both be our 4 and 5 guys? Or are we going to see a guy like Joey Lucchese be the 4th pitcher? Could it be Justin Dunn? I don't know. We'll see what happens here in spring training, as that will be the deciding factor. I'm not going to go off of past career stats or anything like that, or I'm not even going to go off of ratings. I'm going to go off of who performed in spring training. That should have been a strike call. But right about the 45-minute mark here in this live stream. Like I said, I would like to try and get through 2 games. I don't know that's going to be possible. Is there strike 3 for Justin Dunn? And here's Freddie Freeman, who is 2 for 2. Justin Dunn starting off pretty good. Two outs right away, and that's a big plus for him. All right, it's Freeman to go. Rolls it over to C.J. Cron, and Cron will take it onto the bag for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for Justin Dunn. Let's move on to the 6th, and let's hurry this game up. James Caprillion on the mound here for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Against Almonte and Seth Johnson warming up in the bullpen. I like Grichuk. I think I just got to get used to hitting with him. And there's Grichuk. As this gets down, as I think that more than likely, I think Grichuk will win that battle for left fielder against left-handed pitching. As here's C.J. Cron. I'm borderline getting a little annoyed by his performance this season. I mean, this spring training, I should say. I mean, there's a chance he might not be starting if he can't turn this spring training around. I get it, this is only the 4th game of spring training, so I understand it. But we need improvement, and we're not seeing it out of him right now. As a matter of fact, I don't know that he's reached base. Got Cam Collier on deck. Alright, there we go. Cron's going to hit this one into the gap. And this one will... Cron, get to second, man. Running slow in the second. Doesn't have a lot of speed. That'll put runners at second and third with nobody out. There we go. That's exactly what you need out of C.J. Cron. Curveball, perfect swing timing, 92 off the bat. And here's Cam Collier. Our most exciting young player other than Ellie De La Cruz. I think this guy's got a lot of potential. And he's quickly down 0-2 here. That's one thing I got to say is I think I've struggled hitting with him. Alright, that will score a run, so Cam Collier does his job, at least. And here's Austin Hendrick, hit a double in his last AB. Can he score C.J. Cron here? You got to hit something really hard, really deep in order to score him on a sac fly. As we swing on the fastball. A little late on it. Circle change, fouled away. 0-2 count. Let's go Hendrick. Gonna go contact here. Oh man, the curveball left up, just in a weird position to try and hit. There's Gio Urshela, somebody that could be taking C.J. Cron's spot if he cannot figure it out here. Oh my gosh, that's a curveball to crush. Real good vision for Urshela as well, 72 vision. Man, this umpire is being really consistent. Those are two pitches pretty much in the same exact spot. Alright, 3-1 count here for Urshela. Heriberto Hernandez on deck. The Dodger killer. Alright, so we're going to see Hernandez here. Hit a 3-run homer last AB. I mean, he turned on a fastball. Turned on a fastball in and crushed it. And watch ball 1. He hit for a lot of power in the minors last year. I think he might have to lose those cleats though. Those cleats are just big. I think it's the pants that he's wearing as well. They just don't match. So we might have to go with like some higher pants, or just we'll go with the normal straight down pants. But those pants just look a little wonky. Oh my gosh! Please don't say. Yeah, that's terrible. Somehow he went on that one. I mean, oh my gosh, that was terrible. Still contact here, as we always would. It's not. It won't be overly aggressive for any reason. We're trying to hit another home run, but it'll be fine. How in the world? That's what that home run sounded like. Alright. Pops it up to Will Smith to end the top half of the 6th. Let's go through the substitution here. Let's go ahead and take some guys out. Who we want to play at first? Don't really have anybody to play at first right now. We do have Stevenson. But I'm going to keep Crone there just because I think he could use the extra at-bats. Let's go Winker at DH. Right field. Let's go Nick Plummer. Just because I think he's a guy who is battling for a starting position. Second base, we got to go India. Because I just don't think India's got any starts. Yeah, I don't even know if he's seen the field yet. We'll go Stevenson at catcher. And then Matt McClain will get one more at bat. So we'll go Austin Davis on the mound here. And then we'll go bullpen. Who we want to be warming up here? I think Alex Reyes and Lucas Sims. Davis makes an athletic play on the mound on the Crone for out number 1. So I think what we'll do is I think we'll play this first game normal, and then the second game I think we'll do quick counts, just because I know nobody wants to see quick counts. It can affect how you play with certain people and everything like that. But I think that if we want to get through 2 games, we have no choice other than to do quick counts, because I'm not going to be able to get through 2 games in 2 hours. 2 full games, that is. It's just not going to be possible. Here's Grichuk underneath it out and left. We could also always do player lock potentially, if we wanted to go through player lock games. We could do that. It's not off the table. So 1-2 count. I think Austin Davis, he's our Rule 5 pickup, so he's got to be in the starting lineup. In the bullpen, in order for us to even keep him anyway. So, it makes the choice a lot easier if he can just perform well, which he is doing right now. Perfect inning for him. And he's pitched really well here. So here's Yency Almonte. And we'll see Matt McClain. He's 0 for 2 today. We'll see him from one last AB in this game. And then we'll roll it over to all the new guys. Swinging on first pitch. Early on that slider. Way early. Alright, so 0-2 count. Those are 2 strikes anyway, whether you swing or you don't swing. And then he'll roll this down the the third baseline. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You make contact, you give yourself a chance. Matt McLain with an infield single. He's not going to hit for power at all. In this game, at least, you know, but... You know, like I said, he's not going to hit for power at all. We're going to try and steal another bag with him. Another good jump by McLain. And he's in there with his second stolen base of the day. Yeah, this guy is making a very strong case for being a guy who we see on the big league roster, at least as a utility man who can play every position. And that's a slider out on the middle. But we lacked patience with MLB Marte there. I like Marte a lot in real life and everything. But here in the show, it just... everything feels weird with him when you play with him at the plate. He's kind of slow, if that makes any sense. His numbers don't seem to... Okay. Moves the runner over. Hard hit ball. Not too bad there. We went contact even though I don't even... Yeah, okay, we went contact, which I think was a good call. Good hit right there. Good piece of hitting. They got the infield in here for Christian Encarnacion Strand. And McLain will be in to score as Christian Encarnacion Strand hits a bloop single into right. Here's Randall Grichuk now. Do we want to potentially go with the substitution as this is... No, we'll keep rocking with him here. He's 1 for 1 as well. Early on the circle change as we're up 5-3 in this game. Alright, 0-2 count coming up. As we swung at the sinker. Whew. Alright, I mean, the fact that we're winning this game is a lot different. I thought there's a good chance we could be shut out once again. Real good game so far. As the lone home run was hit by Heriberto Hernandez. At least for us, the lone home run. And the Dodgers hit a home run with Matt Chapman. So here's CJ Cron. We're going to keep him in because we don't really have a first baseman to put in now after Spencer Steer started the day. So, Cron's 1 for 3 on the day. We'd like to see him improve here, continue to improve here in spring training. And we'll see what game we're going to play next. You know, I think it's going to be within the first 15 games. Alright, so 2-1 count here. Trying to hurry up the pace here this game. Alright, 2-2 count. You know, sometimes I feel like if you're really struggling as well, and you're struggling to make contact with guys, and they're just getting under everything. Yeah, if they're just getting under everything. Sometimes I think it's beneficial to just go up and start swinging contact no matter what. And I think with a guy like Matt McLain, I think it's more beneficial to just start swinging contact. Alright, so we'll put Alex Reyes in here. He's pitched 1 inning. He's got an 18 ERA. He gave up 2 runs in his first appearance in spring training. This is a former Dodger, so he's the guy that I was talking about, a potential 71 overall, but he is 29 years old, so... Nick Plummer out there in right field. Guy who, if he would have played all season long, probably could have been the NL Rookie of the Year because of the way that he played in September. He was real good. Right now, Alex Reyes is pitching pretty wild. I mean, that pitch was meant for to be down at the knees, and it ended up at his chest. So there's a good circle change there. Not where I wanted it to go, which is probably good that it didn't go there. All right, so 3-2 count. It feels like the Dodgers have kept their starters in the entire game. Ball 4. First 2 runners aboard. You're lucky that you got him to swing at that. Let's go, Reyes. Stevenson got him at third. All right. Good job there by Tyler Stevenson. Now, that's the one thing. If that was Heriberto Hernandez, I don't know that he's able to make that play. So that's the one risk that you're taking if you take a guy like Hernandez and you maybe potentially made him your everyday catcher. In the future, Alex Reyes is struggling out there on the mound right now. Now they're going to go to their bench. They got Gavin Lux coming to the plate now, left-handed hitter. Reyes really struggling to find a zone. I mean, India makes a smart play, just goes on to first there, as you're probably not turning two anyway, so let's just get the out. And let's go on to Trace Thompson, who kills it in this game for whatever reason. I actually want to look. Yeah, last year went with a 278 average with 41 home runs. Not really sure where that came from in this game. I think maybe they're just giving him the Klay Thompson's brother treatment, you know? You know, it was almost like when Mike Yastrzemski first came in the league. Got him. No. When Yastrzemski first came in the league, you know, he kind of got, his dad was a player treatment. In reality, he's a very average player, in my opinion. All right, 3-2 count. Can we please get out of this inning? We do. Somehow, some way, Alex Reyes will get out of this inning without allowing a run. Don't know how that happened. Here's Jesse Winker now. Forgot that we brought him on. And now we're going to have Lucas Sims and Alexis Diaz due up to pitch. Oh my gosh, if we're not early on that, we crush it. It says current hitting streak is 8 games. He's got a nothing average. There we go. I mean, Winker is so slow, I don't know that he's even going to be able to make it into second safely. Oh, oh my gosh. That's why I said Winker is slow. That's why he would not be able to start in right field, is I think that his speed, I don't know. I think he could have been safe, I'm not going to lie. Dang it, Winker. Nick Plummer batting 100 here to start the season. I think this is what makes it interesting with Plummer as well, is that if he struggles, who will be our right fielder? You know, because I think Matt McClain has a chance to be our starting center fielder. TJ Friedel, did we trade him or did somebody snag him up? I think somebody did. And you know what's crazy is I don't think we traded him, and he would have been a real good trade piece. I think we definitely messed up on that one. What we would have gotten out of him, I don't know, but keep that one in the center. We're out number 2. Here's Jonathan India. I don't know that he's had an at-bat here in spring training. He will be our starting second baseman to start the season, so it does not matter too much. One count. Tyler Stevenson on deck here. Alright, so India will walk. Was going to try and test out his speed here. We could try it. Stevenson, 375 here in spring training. All right, so that'll end the top half of the 8th. We'll bring on Lucas Sims. Try to get through this inning quickly here. We're getting going quickly here. Is this one hitting in right field? I think the Dodgers know what we're trying to do here. Brandon Belt, 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Harrison Bader now, former Cardinal, former New York Yankee. He used to have the long hair, but then since going to New York, cut the hair, no facial hair, and now he's going to continuously have that in this franchise because I don't think MLB The Show really understands the Yankees' policy. Strike 3, Lucas Sims is moving quickly here in the bottom half of the 8th. Michael Bush. I mean, Lucas Sims, he's a guy I think could get the deal. A big deal. What a pitch. I mean, he is dealing right now. Let's go slider in. Let's try to get through this in 8 pitches. Trying to speed run this bottom half of the 8th. Crone is there, but it's foul. All right. Stevenson under it. And there we go, end of the 8th, and we're moving quick. So there's a good chance we could try and get a second game in. And we're gonna go with Matt McClain for his last at bat here, and we're gonna go straight contact every pitch. So we go contact first pitch, and we're just gonna pop this one into shallow left center. So 1 for 4 day for Matt McClain, and here is Noelvi Marquez at bat. Last time, yeah, it was a 3-1 count. We went contact. I was going to say, I didn't think it was a 2-strike count. Cutter, right where you want it. Marte misses it. Good play over there by, I believe that's Brandon Belt. Here's Encarnacion Strand. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Like to show off some power potentially here. That's what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's go Strand. It's crazy that his name is so long that they can't even fit it in a video game. Three-pitch strikeout, and that's a quick top half of the 9th. Let's say, for example, this game does go to extra innings. I will simulate that. I'm not concerned with extra innings in real life. Spring training, the game ends anyways. So I'll just simulate the extra innings. Strike 3. Strike 2. Let's go slider in the same spot. Strike 3. What a wow. So Alexis Diaz, as you know, struggled at the beginning part of last year. Second half of the season really started to settle in and start pitching well. If we can get the second half of the season, Alexis Diaz, we could have the best closer in baseball. Tried to get Sam Haggerty. Swinging. Got him. Strike 3. And we are going to win this spring training game. Our first spring training victory. Not too bad. So, go through the box score here. We had 10 total hits. De La Cruz with 1. Spencer Steer with 1. Encarnacion Strand with 1. Grichuk with 1. Crone with 1. Winker with 1. Hendrick with 1. Gio Urshela with 1. Heriberto Hernandez with 1. And Matt McClain with 1. So we had a double for Austin Hendrick and a double for CJ Crone. A home run for Heriberto Hernandez. RBIs for Strand, Hernandez, and Collier. And then stolen bases for Ellie De La Cruz and 2 for Matt McLean. So 2 stolen bases for McLean, really good there. There's your numbers right there. Andrew Abbott struggled a little bit. Graham Ashcraft, that was the miscue in left center field that was really what caused that one. And then the pitching from there was really good. Dunn pitched well. Austin Davis pitched really good. Alex Reyes struggled. Luckily, he got out of it. Lucas Sims and Alexis Diaz held it down for sure. Alexis Diaz had 3 strikeouts in the 9th inning, so that's exactly what we wanted to see. We're going to try and hurry this up just a little bit. I'm going to simulate the next game, and then from there, so let's go ahead and advance day. I think we're going to have to advance again. Let's just go through here. Okay, we don't play our next one for a while, so we'll simulate this one. We lose it 1-3. Let's view the box score here. De La Cruz 1 for 2. India pinch hit, played shortstop, so he went 1 for 1. Stevenson 2 for 3. He's dominating right now. CJ Crum went 1 for 3, 1 for 4 for Winker, and 1 for 3 for Nick Plummer. We had a double for Crone, a double for Plummer. Jesse Winker had a stolen base? Okay, sure. Brandon Williamson did all right. Hunter Green, Santillan pitched really well. Will Smith is really struggling for us. Joe Jimenez, that number's starting to go down. That's good. Carl Edwards and Alexis Diaz all pitched pretty well. So from there, we're going to go to this pitching rotation. I want to continue to see these guys, but I want to take Green out here, and I want to get Victor Castaneda some opportunities. I mean, these are the guys that are going to be battling for a potential starting position. And then we'll go with, should we go Dunn or should we go Petty? We'll go Lucchesi. Because Petty probably not starting, getting the chance. Dunn. So Justin Dunn we'll put up here at long relief, along with Chase Petty. And then from there, I think these guys right here are our 2 constants. I think Brad Hand, Petty. Yeah, if we're talking about the 2 constants, I think Alexis Diaz is making the team no matter what. So I think it's important that we do something like this, maybe. We need to continue to see Phil Bickford. Now, the one guy is Will Smith that we need to find out a little bit more about. Do we go in this long relief role? All right, so here's what we'll do. We'll go Castaneda, Jonathan Heasley, Joey Lucchesi, Andrew Abbott, Brandon Williamson, and then we'll have Justin Dunn, Chase Petty, Tony Santillan, Brad Hand, Joe Jimenez, Austin Davis, Carl Edwards Jr., Phil Bickford, Alex Reyes, and Will Smith. Who do we want to be our closer? Brad Hand struggling too. Who's got that nasty strikeout stuff? Jimenez maybe? Do something like that. So, and then the guys that we're not probably going to see are Hunter Green, Graham Ashcraft, Lucas Sims, Alexis Diaz, and Nick Lodolo. From there, the rest of the guys we're going to see. So let's go to lineups real quick here. And then we'll switch this like every 5 games. So, so who are we going to play against? We're going to 1, 2, 3. We'll play against the Los Angeles Angels, I think is what we'll do. So let's go to lineups. Who's not getting at-bats here? Will Benson's not getting any at-bats. I'm okay with that. Jonathan India, we need to put him at second base. And we'll actually just put Urshela right there. Austin Hendrick isn't really getting those. We'll do this. I want to get Hendrick some opportunities here. All right, we know Nick Senzel's not really getting any opportunities. Let's give him in there at center field against righties. Spencer Steer also, we know where he's not getting many opportunities. Let's go ahead and put him at third, because I think that at this point, Christian Encarnacion Strand isn't really showing us anything. Chad Pender, he's got one at bat, so that was the one at bat that we got with him. So let's go ahead and put him at. It's kind of tough. I think he isn't gonna get the opportunities necessarily. Grichuk as well is not really getting those chances. Stuart Fairchild, not really worried about getting him out there right this second. Matt McLean. Could put him out there for Ellie De La Cruz. But we'll hold off. He's getting his opportunities. And Noelvi Marte. And Heriberto Hernandez is getting those chances at catcher when we play with him. The one guy that I'm wondering here is Chad Pender. I'm going to get Chad Pender a start in the game that I play with him. But I think that's good. I think that's the lineup that we need. So we'll go ahead and simulate some of these games. And then we'll go through and we'll figure out if we need to change anything. So De La Cruz with 2 hits, Cam Collier with 1, Grichuk with 1, Chad Pender with 1. So Pender got a hit. Hendrick, Fairchild, Winker, India, and Senzel with all hits as well. Trying to get through this quickly so we can hop into the last game. Senzel with 2 doubles. Castaneda pitched pretty decent. Justin Dunn struggled. Lucchesi pitched well. Carl Edwards gave up 1 earned, and then Brad Hand. Here's a victory against the Oakland Athletics. McLean goes 2 for 3. Stevenson and Crone with a hit. Steer with 2. India with 1. Welby Marte and Fairchild with hits. So home run for Crone, a double for McLean. Jonathan Heasley does really well in this game. Lucchesi does really well. Petty allows 2 earned. Will Smith allows 1. Davis, Jimenez, and Reyes all did really well. Another loss here. McLean goes 1 for 3. Winker 1 for 1. Heriberto Hernandez 1 for 3. Stevenson 1 for 2. And Welby Marte 1 for 3. Only 5 hits for us in this game. Lucchesi allowed 1 earned. Williamson allowed 1 earned. Not too bad. And then this last game here against Texas Rangers. 1 hit for Urshela, 1 for Steer, 1 for Stevenson, 1 for Crone, 1 for Fraley, 1 for Fairchild, and then 1 for Pender and 1 for Jesse Winker. Home run for Jake Fraley in this game. Andrew Abbott allows 1 earned. Williamson allows 1. And then Carl Edwards allowed 2 later on in the game. So this will be the game that we hop into now, because this will be the 10th game. And then from there, we'll simulate the next 5, and then we'll continue on with spring training when we get to this game right here. So we'll play this one, simulate these 5 games, and then we'll hop in next live stream against Milwaukee. So with that being said, let's waste no time at all, and let's go ahead and hop into this game here. Actually, as a matter of fact, let me look at something real quick. Wanted to make sure everything is good. How these guys doing? I mean, these guys are battling for starting spots, so that's the one thing that does make it interesting. Alex Reyes, 6 ERA. Phil Bickford, Jimenez. Austin Davis is going to make the team. Will Smith, that number is starting to go down a little bit. Brad Hand, Santillan. All right. And then lineups. Everybody's getting their at-bats, hopefully. Jonathan India, his numbers are getting up there. And who's not getting at-bats? Will Benson still has not gotten an at-bat. Chad Pender's getting a little bit. Really, it's Will Benson's not getting any at-bats. But, I mean, I don't think he's going to be making the team anyway, so not too worried about it. Let's get into this game here. Let's look at something real quick. City Connect uniforms in here yet? There they are. So there are the Cincinnati Reds City Connect uniforms. We will debut these in Season 2, so that will be exciting. And then we are the road team, so let's go right there. All right, and then we're going to start Brandon Williamson here in this game. And I think we are facing a lefty, so that's good. We're going to see Grichuk and Pender in this game. All right, I think we'll just go with that lineup here. McLean's batting 353. Steer batting 286. And then Stuart Fairchild's batting 273. These are the guys that have done well for us. All right, so we'll get into this last game right here. We'll try to speed through it, do a little speed run here, and then we'll end this live stream off. Reed Detmer's on the mound here for the Los Angeles Angels. McLean's got a little bit more power against lefties, so that's good to see. Good curveball there. So we'll see Matt McLean in center in this game, as I think that's the chance where, if he was going to be starting anywhere, I think in the regular season, I think it would be center field. So laid on the fastball, but he's staying alive. Gotta protect right there. Strike three, looking. Here's Gio Urshela now. Batting 160, so we're not seeing the hitting that we'd like to see out of Urshela. But he's got to send this one up the middle for a base hit. Runner aboard with one away. Here's Heriberto Hernandez now. Trying to turn on something. Oh. I almost messed up and sent the runner, so tried to turn on something there. Don't have that power yet. No reason to look at the lineup. We know what we're doing. Here's CJ Cron. He's batting 154 on the spring training campaign. He will be more than likely our starting first baseman. I'd like to show some power here potentially. I think he might have a home run here in spring training. There we go. That's exactly what we're trying to get that out of CJ Cron. We want that power to start showing up. I mean, what he showed for us in Colorado, what he showed for Colorado, we want him to show for us. So CJ Cron with his second home run here in spring training. There's a good chance I think he'll be the guy that leads the team in home runs by season's end. So here's Spencer Steer. He's batting 286 this season. He hits lefties very well. I don't think that I hit a home run with Steer last season at all. But, I mean, like I said, he hits the lefties really well. And we just hit back-to-back home runs. So, if we can do this in the regular season, this would be a very fun team, a very young team. Back-to-back jacks. Yeah, that is, that could make this team very fun. Back-to-back home runs here for us. Just talked about how Spencer Steer hits left-handed pitching very well, and so doesn't this guy. So can we go back-to-back home runs? Let's see. Let's see if Reed Detmers gives him anything to hit. I mean, this guy can crush left-handed pitching. All right. Come on. Give us one right down the middle and see if we can't do anything with it. Ah, I thought that was it, too. So the 2-0 count ground to the short, and that will end the top of the first. 2 home runs, Cron and Steer both go yard. And here's Brandon Williamson, who just made his Major League debut. I think it was his Major League debut last season. Oh my gosh, a couple days ago is what I meant to say. And he went 5 2/3, I think, allowing 1 earned run at Coors Field. So he's gotten off to a really good start in real life for the Cincinnati Reds. I think he, if I had to choose, would be my number 5 starter going into this season. with the Reds here in our franchise. We're going to need him to show some really good pitching here at the spring training level in order for that to really become a reality for him. But 3-2 count to David Fletcher, who's off to a rough start in spring training. There's strike 3 for Brandon Williamson. If you guys are watching this live, I encourage you to leave a like. It would be greatly appreciated. Here's Taylor Ward to the plate for the Angels. So no more Shohei Ohtani. I've talked about it in the stream before. Shohei Ohtani now plays for the Chicago White Sox in this franchise, so no more Ohtani in Anaheim. Urshela, playing against his former team, throws on the first for out, number 2. Here's Mike Trout. He's batting .435. I mean, it does not matter where you throw this ball. He has a chance to crush it every time. And there's Steer. Gathers it on to Crone in a 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Williamson. Here's Chad Pender now. He's getting more at-bats. That's one thing that I do like. He is getting more at-bats. He hits left-handed pitching really well. Also, try not to say as well. So Pender has a chance to be the platoon left fielder with Jake Fraley, or it could be Randall Grichuk. The thing that really sucks about the situation is that whatever guy comes away with winning that position battle, the other guy will probably go to AAA. Just because we have positions for center and right, not necessarily, I guess. But the thing that kind of does suck with it is Grichuk, you want him to be an everyday player. He can be an everyday player for you. But the thing with him being an everyday player, he's not going to hit right-handed pitching that well. So you could put him in center, and he could be your everyday center fielder, and then you could have a platoon with Pender and Fraley. But I don't know if that's what you want to do. And so, it's kind of a tricky situation. Who's going to be that starting center fielder? You know, in our last live stream, I think that we'll probably only play one game. Just due to the fact that I want to play one game, and then I want the rest of that to be kind of like okay, who's making this roster? And that way we can really sit down and we can think about it. We can watch all the games play out and see, you know, who is the guy that we decide to keep up at the big league club and who we don't. Also, I think the way that we're going to have to do this is the last game of the season, we'll have to hop in and like quick manage and then hop in for like the very last out. That way when the game is over, we don't have to advance to the next day automatically by simulating. We can just finish the game, and then we can do all of our roster moves, and then maybe if we do that and then advance the offseason, we don't have to worry about the CPU keeping guys up at the big league level that we don't want there, and then wasting an option on them. So we'll figure out what we can do to make that work, but as Stuart Fairchild is to the plate now, 2 away here, top of the second inning. Reed Detmer's taking his sweet old time on the mound. I almost swung at that. You might have been able to hear it. Also, I am working on getting a new mic in as well. It's going to have a boom arm as well, so it's something that can sit in front of my face and makes it easier. I don't have to lean in like this. Like you guys can probably hear me a lot better if I talk like this. So I think that getting a new mic would help. Will help this channel. As that's a terrible pitch to swing at. Strike 3 that'll end the top of the second. Here's Hunter Renfroe. This was a guy that I was going to have my eye on in spring training. That was until he signed a new deal with the Los Angeles Angels. Let's see what it is real quick. So he signed a 3-year deal that's worth about 21 million, but they front loaded it. So that he'll be making more in the first year, and second year he'll make a little bit less, and in the third year he'll make the least amount for his contract. But his power that he brings to the table, I mean, we would have loved to get a guy like this to come play for Cincinnati Reds here. That one right there was a dangerous slider. Right on the middle, pretty much. I think this team in game last season, I think that we were doing really well, and I think we were a team that our record probably would have been something more of like a 75 and 90 something, you know. But I think that the reason that we started to begin to struggle is because we didn't, I don't want to say we blew up the team, but at the same time, I knew that we weren't going to be competing. And so why would we get a better record, risk draft position? So you can call it, Marte, let's see what kind of arm he's got. He gathered his footing far too long. But you can call it tanking. I guess it would be considered tanking. So we pretty much tanked a little bit in order to make sure our draft position would fall. Because there's no reason in picking at 13th or 14th if you know you're not a good team. It's just not, it wasn't the smart thing to do. So keep it on the down low. We did tank, I guess you could say, but I don't think that we traded away our best players. I mean, Will Myers was not doing anything special by all means. Neither was Luke Weaver or Luis Sessa. I think that the course that we were on was probably ultimately always going to be the course that we were on, whether we traded a lot of people at the deadline or not. You know, and I think maybe we waited a little too long to call De La Cruz up. I don't think so. As Williamson walks Drury. I don't think we waited too long. I think we waited until really starting to perform well at the AAA level. Here's Evan Longoria. He's got 84 power against lefties, and that's going to be hit to deep right field. Fairchild can't get there. And it one hops to the wall, and they're not going to send the other runner. So, Angels will tie this game up 3-1 now. With nobody out, they're looking to potentially tie this game up. Here's Jonathan Scope. Not getting any help out of the umpire, that's for sure. All right, Williamson really starting to break down here in the second inning. Here's Rendon batting 8th for the Angels. Who would we see next? I mean, yeah, I think at this point it's time to maybe make a change at the mound, because you allow 3 earned. I didn't mean to do that. Let's go ahead and I can't hit bullpen. Come on. You want to go with Justin Dunn again. Also, you got Andrew Abbott, who I'm not going to pitch. Let's just go Justin Dunn and Chase. No, let's go Tony Santillan. Because he hasn't pitched. He's looking pretty fresh. Yeah, the umpire isn't helping. We've got a real tight strike zone, is what it appears. And this one's hitting the deep right center field. McLean showing off the speed to even get there. Got the ball in quickly. Looking for Williamson to end this inning right here. With no other runs. There's a curveball we're going to try. Pitcher is getting tired. Try it, like I said, I want to try and get him out of this inning here. I think if he allows one more run, I think that's when you got to go ahead and pull him. Yeah, this umpire is not going to be letting us off easy here. There we go. Good pitch by Williamson there to strike out David Fletcher. Angels here, they got some real good hitters. I mean, every hitter that they got, I feel like, has got some good stat about them. All right, so Williamson will get out of the inning. Holds them to just 3. Alright, so here's Matt McLean, leadoff man for us today. He had a 6-pitch at-bat last time up. That's a slider right down the middle. You'd like for him to be able to send that one back up the middle for a base hit. Same with that one. That's a circle change right down the middle. You'd like for him to send it back up the middle. Just a little too early on him, I think, is what the case is right here. All right, good eye by McLean. This will be Reed Detmer's last inning. Just a little too behind on that two-seam fastball. And here's Gio. 1 for 1 on the day. He sent a 4-seam fastball right up the middle on first pitch. Alright, so what's Detmer's going to do? Is he going to throw fastballs, or is he going to try and throw some more off-speed in this at-bat? He goes circle change, and Urshela does what he has to do. He sends it right back up the middle for a base knock. So he's 2 for 2 on the day. And I'm definitely able to hit the ball a lot better here. Last time Hernandez was up, he hit a slider that was up and in. Ah! My eyes lit up there. You gotta watch the replay on that one. My eyes lit up. The circle change. Come on, Hernandez. Fouls off the fastball. Hernandez is doing a good job at when he gets down in the count, he starts to do a better job at protecting. Ah. Alrighty. Here's CJ Cron. He had a 2-run homer last time he was up to the plate. And that was a fastball up and in that he crushed. So what's Detmer's going to do here? His fastball has been the pitch that really has been crushed. He goes circle change to Cron this time. It was a 2-0 count last time Cron was to the plate. It looks like Detmer's philosophy has changed. He's trying to go low here. He's not going to leave anything up for Cron to crush. With a 3-0 count, I think in spring training, you got the green light. And he put the fastball in the same spot he put the one that we crushed. 3-1 count here. That's ball 4, Cron. Come on. There's the actual ball 4. Here's Spencer Steer. He hit a fastball. So the fastball has been the pitch that was really taken advantage of here for the Reds offense. Let's see what Detmer decides to do here against Steer. He gives him a fastball again right down the middle. And he's lucky Steer didn't crush this one 420 feet. Williamson, I'm not going to keep in the game. We're going to bring in Tony Santiano. See what he can show us here. I'd like to get 2 innings out of him, as he will more than likely be making the big league roster. As Trout sends this one to deep right field, and it's gone. Home run for Mike Trout. Go figure, you leave anything down the middle across the plate, yeah, it's going to be crushed. And here's pretty much his little brother at this point in Los Angeles, Hunter Renfroe. He's about the same way. You leave anything down the middle and you're going to pay for it. Alright, good pitch by Santillan there against Renfroe. Kind of surprised he even swung at that. Here's Brandon Drury now, former Cincinnati Red, who we traded to the Padres, I do believe, and then found his way to the Angels in free agency the year that followed the season we traded him. So pretty much this year. I really like Santillan. I think that he pitched real well for us out of the bullpen. He was our best reliever. And so, moving forward, I think he's a guy that, regardless if he struggles here in spring training, I think because of the year he had, we have to figure he'll be in our bullpen. Now, I don't want to put him in a long relief position because of the fact that he only is like a 45 stamina guy, which is really good. See what kind of speed McClain can put on here as he gets over. But Santillan's stamina is really good for a reliever, but to put him out there in the long relief position, I don't know. Here's Randall Grichuk. Reed Detmer is still on the mound, actually, which is quite interesting. Ah, 0-2 count. I lack the patience with Randall Grichuk. I think he can do so much damage against left-handed pitching. And you don't get the righty-lefty matchup where righty can kill lefties that much. It's probably once every 5 games. So when you get it, your eyes kind of light up. You get excited. And so you start swinging at everything. And he rolls over the curve, and that will be out number 1 here in the top of the 4th. And here's Chad Pender. Kind of forgot that he was playing in this game. That's going to be a hard pitch to hit every single time. Pender was a guy who was on our AAA squad all of last season pretty much up until, I think, September call-ups or right before that. And he played really well at the big league level. Therefore, I said he can play left field. So I want to see what he can do if he were platooned with Fraley. And he played good. He hit the ball hard in our season finale. And so I knew that I wanted to bring him back because he hits this one into right center field, but it's caught on the run by Mike Trout. Hard hit ball, unfortunately hit right at their best defensive player. Here is MLB Marte now. He's 0 for 1 and looking like he's not going to be making the big league roster at this point. I think soon he could be up. I think during the season he could be up. But I think that his hitting needs to improve. He needs to improve hitting-wise. Defensively, I think in his speed, I think he's there. He's polished. He's really well rounded. But I think his hitting is just really lackluster. I don't know that it could even be average at the big league level, and so I think it's got to improve. But before we see him up anytime, I think some guys can be hitting 240 at AAA, but when you go down and watch them, and their swing is just nice and they hit the ball hard, then that's different. But then there's some guys that you need them to be hitting like 300 at AAA to feel confident enough to bring them up because you don't feel confident enough as their, with their hitting style. So Stuart Fairchild is on deck. He's a guy who I want to keep on the Major League roster, and he might be a starter for us, as a matter of fact. Could he be like a starter in right field for us? I don't know. Good at-bat here for Noelvi. Really good at-bat. What is that, pitch number 9 probably? Yeah, so pitch 10 coming up here. Might have to... Alright, what an at-bat for Noelvi Marte. 10-pitch walk. And here's Stuart Fairchild. So a guy, like I said, could be a starter for us. 65 contact, 57 power. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think that he hits the ball really well. I think he has the potential to be a starter. And back at the top of the order, it's Matt McLain's turn now. For his third at-bat will be his last at-bat. He fouls off the four-seam fastball. So Reed Detmers is going out there for a full start pretty much. 76 pitches he's thrown so far. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I'm making Matt McLain look bad. Trying to turn on the sweeping curve. 0-2 count here. Lay off there by McLain. Runners will go back to their base. So I gotta go on a run after this live stream, so that's gonna be interesting to feel that burn, struggle breathing for a little bit. You know, you never want to do it, but sometimes it's beneficial to get it done. And here's Trout running in to try and make the play. He gets there. So that will end the fourth, the top half of the fourth, I should say. And here is Jonathan Scope, and Santillan will remain on the mound. Yeah, sometimes you got to go out there. You got to get that exercise in. You got to get the workout in, because if you don't, your 40-year-old self will be mad at your current self for not doing it. And the discipline that you create by doing it is something you can't get doing other things, I don't think. It's a different kind of discipline. It's like a mental discipline. Santillan feels like he's starting to settle in here in this game. I mean, you give up a home run to Mike Trout. It's Mike Trout, man. I mean, it's the best player in the world. It's okay. Another thing, Fairchild, the reason I think he could start in right field for us is I think that the speed that he has is better than what Jesse Winker would display for us. Jesse Winker, I mean, I like Winker, like I said. He's one of my favorite baseball players of all time, but he's not a starting right fielder because he is just too slow. And when you're that slow, sometimes you're not able to get to that ball and cut it off. So what could have been a single is now a double because you were too slow getting there, as Santillan gets to strike out on Rendon. And this will more than likely be his last batter, Logan O'Hoppe. Do I want to get an inning with Justin Dunn? That's probably the question that I'll ask myself next. Since we did in the last game, I don't know that I want to. As there's another strikeout for Santillan. He is dealing right now. Real good. Here's Severino coming out. Go to bullpen here. Let's sit Justin Dunn down, I think. And we could try Austin Davis again, and we'll go Phil Bickford. Austin Davis is yet to allow a run. So that's something to really think about. Here's Gio Urshela. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Am I actually able to go through and like make these subs now? No, I gotta do it from the defensive standpoint. Shortstop comes in on the first, and he gets Urshela. All right, coffee's done. So now we move on to water. Here's Heriberto Hernandez now. And he's going to send this one up the middle. What a play by Rendon. And I think the way that that ball hit the mound, it kicked off the mound in a weird way. And that's what even allowed Rendon to make the play. Yeah, I think that if it didn't kick off the mound there, I think it's a different story on what happens there. Here's Crone now. He's 1 for 1 on the day. And he'll swing at the first circle change. Let me look at this again. Yeah, I think it kind of kicked off the mound into Rendon. Trying to go yard again. 0-2 count coming up. This one's hit the short. That's going to have to be an amazing throw. What a throw. The infielders on that half inning were incredible. David Fletcher and Anthony Rendon making some really good plays. Do we want to go one more inning with Tony Santillan? We could try it, and if he allows a base hit, then we'll take him out. I think his stamina is good enough right now at this point. Okay, it says now he's getting tired, so we'll try. Just won't allow him to face Trout again. I think that's the best idea. Alright, now he's going behind on David Fletcher, so I don't want to keep him in if he walks Fletcher, but if he can get him out here, it's a different story. Alright, you got him on a circle change. I am actually going to go through real quick and take some of these guys out. I'm going to get Nick Senzel a look. And then I want to get India in there. I want to get Stevenson in there. Not ideal to change your catcher in the middle of an at-bat. And then CJ Cron I'm going to keep in because I think he continues to need the work. The more at-bats he gets, I think the more we feel comfortable with him as our everyday first baseman. Ooh, 3-0 count. This could be Santillan's last guy. And that will do it for Tony Santillan. We allow him to stay in so that he could potentially... Alright, this will be a good test for Austin Davis here. You're going up against Mike Trout. Show us what you got. He's not allowed a base hit. So they were going to try and go hit and run. So sometimes they do actually do it. Sometimes they don't. So I figured I'd pitch out just to see. But now you're behind on the world's best hitter. But I don't think Austin Davis really cares too much. What a pitch. Did he get him? He got him. What a pitch by Austin Davis. What an at-bat by Austin Davis. This guy will definitely be making the big league roster the way that he's throwing right now. He makes these hitters look goofy. Could he be our best reliever too is another thing. He's lefty. We need left-handed relief pitching for sure. Let's try to get a strikeout here on Hunter Renfroe. Ah, he left the changeup up. Luckily, it's going to bounce off of that piece of the wall there. That barely sticks out, if you notice how it barely sticks out. So he left the changeup up. Not a good... that's his first hit he's allowed by a right-handed hitter anyway. Here's Brandon Drury. If you're going to throw this slider and you want to keep it out, you got to keep it out. So he doesn't, he kind of lets it run in a little bit. Let's go change up again, but this one, keep it down. Don't let it go up. He kept it down, but he could have afforded to a little bit. What a pitch by Austin Davis. Round of applause for Austin Davis. What an inning. Alright, so here's Spencer Steer. I think we'll be able to get through the rest of this game here. That should be the plan here. And then we'll simulate some games and then fix some things. Wasn't even looking there at the start. I want contact because that was what my finger was on. Yeah, so maybe this stream will be more like 2.5 hours, but let's go ahead. Let's do a substitution here. We'll go Fraley. Let's get Jake Fraley in that bat here. I would allow Grichuk to stay in, but I think that right now we want to do what we're going to do in the game. You know, in a real life game that we're playing, at least, 6th inning rolls around, and a right-handed pitcher comes in, we're down by 1. Fraley will be coming out to hit. The numbers are better for him. You know, I think that would be what we would do. Yanni Chirinos, notorious pitcher in Mr. Hurricane's Rockies franchise, as that will be a ball. Oh, I don't know if they got him on the swing or that was in the zone, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think that was a strike, especially with the way that this umpire has been calling the game. Here's Pender. He'll pop up the sinker, and that will do it for the top of the 6th. You know, maybe I'm not being as patient as I should be at this moment, as we're going to keep our man Austin Davis in. I'm impressed with the way he can pitch. That fastball is what is most impressive to me because he does have real good command of the fastball. That's a really good pitch change-up-wise there. I mean, you're right on the zone. If the umpire wants to call the game even, that's a strike, so... We're going to go another changeup, I guess. Let's go low and away. Didn't put it where you wanted it, but he induced a soft contact, or I guess hard ground ball contact to India. Stevenson's now calling this game, so we'll pretty much follow what Stevenson wants. I wonder if there's an attribute, though, that does change a catcher's awareness in the sense of, like, they call a better game behind the plate. Austin Davis is dealing right now. This dude is pitching really good. How old is Austin Davis? He's 31 years old. Okay. We got him on that 1-year deal. Rule 5 guy. 31 years old. I thought he was a little bit younger. So that's a little heartbreaking, I guess. But he is 31, but, you know, I think if he can pitch well for us, I think he's a guy I want to keep around for sure. So that slider, I don't know if it's the movement on it or what, but these guys are, some of them look confused by it. I want to try and get a strikeout here against Rendon, and then that would make me feel real good. Oh my gosh, where is the umpire calling these balls? Good slider right there. He's getting a little tired, so let's try and get one more slider that's hard to touch. Here's India, make the play. He gets there, and Austin Davis pitching lights out here in spring training. He's the Rule 5 pickup. Remember that, everybody. So next we'll bring in Phil Bickford, but then I also want to see Will Smith, I guess, as well. Here is Noelvi Marte. He walked in a 10-pitch at-bat his last time up. This is Jose Soriano pitching now for the Angels. A lot of movement going on there. I mean, this is going to be a long at-bat. Long half inning, I should say. Nice change up there. Watch him. He comes up and he wiggles his glove around like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then he puts it down. Then he sits there for 5 seconds and then throws. There we go. There's a nice little knock by Noelvi Marte. And that's going to be a base hit for him. And then you got an error on the throw in. I mean, definitely could have gotten a double there. And here's Stuart Fairchild. He's 1 for 2 on the day. How's his hitting against righties look? How's his numbers look? Not as good as against lefties, but they're not bad at the same time. Marte's in there with a stolen base. A lot of these young guys are getting real good jumps when they get on the base paths. A little too early on the curveball. Trout gets there, make the play, and that's out number 1. All right, so this will be Nick Senzel coming up to the plate now. He's batting .231 here in spring training. Cincinnati Reds cannot escape this guy. He's always playing here. We'll go back. But, I mean, I like Senzel, and I think that what do we want to do with him? I mean, how much more years of control do we have with Nick Senzel? He'll be a free agent after this season. So I think if you're going to move on from him, I think you move on from him this season. And I think you probably do it before the season starts. Just because I don't know, we probably don't have a future with them. That's on me right there. What's his contact? You can't even see it. 58 and 53. Do we allow him to start in center field in the regular season? I mean, and whatever he shows from there is what we decide to do. The hustle by Noelvi Marte will allow the Cincinnati Reds to tie this game up in the 7th inning. He went from second to home on the base knock by Senzel, and I don't think you can get away with calling that a fielder's choice. I think you got to call that a base hit for Senzel. So here's Jonathan India to the plate now. Batting .273 here in the spring. You know, swing and miss on the changeup. So trying to get through this game here. I want to look at a few more players. I think that's why I think the next episode we will be able to get away with just doing the one game and not doing 2 games, just because I think we've seen everything that we want to see up to this point. So let's get Senzel on the move here and see what happens. And he gets picked off. So Senzel, did his number change? I thought it said 16 there. Did it? Jose Soriano is a very slow pitcher, and I mean in his windup and his getting set and coming forward, it's all slow, and so that's why this inning, I feel like this top half of the 7th has just dragged. Not trying to rush anything, you know, I'm going to try and get through this in a efficient way, but at the same time, this dude is moving at the pace of a snail. Alright, 3-2 count here. I'm going to go normal swing here with Jonathan India. Him and Anthony Rendon could be brothers at this point, for all I know. Fouls this one off. I don't know, at a certain point in spring training, they start to have guys play full games instead of doing substitutions and pinch hitting and going to the bullpen early. So that's why we'll have to adjust there. Keep an eye on what they do. And India will walk. So this half of the inning will continue to carry on with Tyler Stevenson to the plate. He's batting .364 in the spring, hitting the ball really well. He is our best player, I think. I think it's pretty clear cut. This one smacked to right field, but it'll end this long top of the 7th. And we're gonna see. We'll see Bickford, I guess. Didn't get a chance to see what his stats were this spring. Ball up. Like I said as well, if this one does go to extra innings, we will just go ahead and simulate the extra innings. Don't really care too much about them. In real life, if a spring training game goes to extras, the game just ends. So I'm not going to worry too much. If anything, it's just more nice play by Spencer Steer down there at third. And this dude will be our starting third baseman on opening day. And I can confidently, almost confidently tell you that right now. That I think he will be our starting third baseman. I think even against right-handed pitching as well. Maybe if he did struggle against right-handed pitching, we look at his numbers at the end of the spring. Then I think we could probably see Gio Urshela be that guy for us, potentially. Come on, Bickford. All right, back-to-back line drives. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing for Phil Bickford, as here is Livon Soto. Or the Angels here. Do the Angels still have Joe Adele? Is he on their bench maybe? Can you check that? I don't know if you can. No, I don't think you can check their bench. If they did have him, I imagine he would probably replace Mike Trout. Alright, strike two there. Let's try and get him on a two-seam fastball and get out of this inning here. Bickford has thrown 16 pitches. He's thrown, I think, the same amount of pitches as our last guy. So Jesus Aguilar is going to take over for Mike Trout. There's no way this guy will be playing center field. There is no way possible. All right, that'll be in the 7th. Let's see. All right, so Jesus Aguilar is playing center field for these guys. That's interesting. Hit the ball in the gap, and you got potential inside the park home run. Here we go. CJ Cron. That is exactly where the first fastball was put that he allowed, that crushed early in the game. Jared Schuster. Not good. We're gonna see. We'll see Spencer Steer here. We'll allow him to get one more at bat here. And we'll have somebody come in and replace Fraley because he'll be up next, I do believe. As Steer fouls this one off early. A lot of times I am early. There's the ball. Good eye by Steer. 3-1 count. Trying to get this game moving here. Trying to pick up the pace. Not too worried about the score. Dang it. He did go, I guess. Steer hits this one to third. The play is made, but it's going to be an error. So Steer aboard. We'll ignore that. We'll go to substitution here. We'll bring in... I really don't have anybody to bring in necessarily. What about left field? Who can hit left-handed pitching pretty well? I guess we'll bring in Jesse Winker. And he'll just pop this one up. And slow-mo by the first baseman. I don't know what he was doing. And so this should be Chad Pender. We'll keep him in since he's facing a lefty. He's only batting 167 here in the spring. That is not good. Randall Grichuk will more than likely be the one that wins that battle with the way that Pender's performing here. Terrible swing. fastball that hits the outside corner, and we've got an 0-2 count here. I think with Pender we go contact. We'll just see what happens. Do we go with normal swing? I did not swing. I didn't swing. So we've hit 3 home runs here in this video. Not bad. We got one with Heriberto Hernandez, one with CJ Crone, and one with Spencer Steer. So 3 home runs in 2 games for us. I think that's not bad. Usually last season for the games I would record, a lot of times I would struggle to get any bit of power out of any of our guys. So Winker, let's go with Will Smith. Let's go ahead and put him in the game. And then the last pitcher that we'll put in, we'll go ahead and stick in Joe Jimenez, I guess. Max Stassi to the plate. So I don't think that I've pitched with Joe Jimenez yet. Will Smith, he is getting a lot older. He did go. Apparently. I think it's completely random. Abraham Toro now. This is the guy that makes the YouTube videos, I think. I'm just kidding. Alright, Winker. Winker gets there and quick. 8th inning so far. Nelson Velasquez now for the Angels. Can India get there? No. Dives a little too late there. Yeah, and Senzel, I don't know what we're going to do with that man. I don't know. Jonathan Scope will stay in. Feels like at this point, when the teams stop doing their substitutions because they don't have enough bench guys, or I mean, they brought in Jesus Aguilar and he played one play in the field, and this one's crushed to left center field. I think this one is going to, and again we just see poor play in the outfield in that left center gap. I don't necessarily get it, what's going on out there, but something's going on. Here's Will Smith now. So once again, I feel like that's not the pitcher's fault that they score a run there. I think that our guys are getting there, and then no backup, which is weird. I should not have to switch over to the other guy to get the ball. I think that they should automatically do it if they're in a position to do it. Steer is there, and that will end the 8th inning. And now we got to score 1 to tie this game up and send it to the bottom of the 9th. Did they send Joe Adele out there? Yeah, so Joe Adele is out there. He's in right field. I want to go with Eli De La Cruz. The vision that De La Cruz has is not good. He's got 36 vision. That's the one thing that I'm trying to bump up for him. As he strikes out, that's just a terrible at-bat. Stuart Fairchild, let's go ahead and get Austin Hendrick an at-bat here. And then we go Nick Plummer, I think, is the guy that will get the next at-bat. 4-pitch walk. That was a pitch that I thought I was going to crush. Here's India. He walked his last at-bat. Did we go ahead? No, let's just rock with India here. We only got 3 guys left on our bench anyway. Tried to pull it. Just rolled it over instead. Let's go, India. Real good, solid numbers all around for Jonathan India. I think India is probably our most well-rounded player, if I had to say so. Hits the slurve, 0-2 count. So this live stream went a little bit longer than I wanted it to. And that will end the game. The next live stream will be 1 game and then setting our lineup for opening day, because it's been way too long of a stretch from last season to the next season. So we want to get 1 more stream in just to get 1 more look at the team. And then we'll move from there. We had Senzel with a hit, Urshela with 2 hits, Crone with 1, Steer with 1, Lovey Marte with 1, and Stuart Fairchild with 1. 7 hits in total. Home runs for Spencer Steer and CJ Crone. Lovey Marte with a stolen base. And then Brandon Williamson struggled. Tony Santillan gave up 1. And then Will Smith also gave up 1. Austin Davis and Phil Bickford pitched really well. Austin Davis pitched really well. If we go down and look one last time here. Yeah. All right, so we'll exit this right here, and then we'll simulate 5 more games. But first, we'll go ahead and look and make sure the lineup is exactly what we want it to look like. All right, so let's go to pitching rotation. I think these are all the guys that I want to get starts. Is there anybody maybe we don't want to give a start? Castaneda maybe. Do we want to give a start to Justin Dunn or Petty? No, I think those guys are good where they're at. And then I think all these guys are getting the innings that we want out of them. So I think the pitching is exactly where you want it to be. Lineups for a look real quick. De La Cruz, these guys are all getting their at-bats. Who's Austin Hendrick with 12 at-bats, India with only 12. I'm going to step out for 1 second, go to the bathroom, then we'll talk about this, and then I'll end this video. End this stream. All right, so I think in this situation, Urshela and India, the only reason I'm not giving Urshela the at-bats is because India, to me, deserves more at-bats than what he's getting right now. And then Grichuk and Pender are both struggling. Plummer struggling as well. So we're kind of giving those opportunities to more of the guys. I don't know. Stuart Fairchild is hitting really well. Because of that, I think it's time to maybe just allow him to get those, actually, but Senzel's batting 286 as well. Same as Fairchild. Where is Fairchild playing against lefties? Is he out there? He's playing right field. We'll continue to monitor it, and then we'll swap these guys here in a second. And then Matt McClain, he's batting 300, and he is our starting center fielder against lefties. Like the way he's playing. Noelvi Marte, we want to get more reps for him. So he's got them reps against what about Winker here? We need to get reps with him. And then Encarnacion Strand, I mean, he's just playing so poorly that it just kind of boils down to let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and give Encarnacion Strand some reps at first base against left-handed pitching, just so that he's getting his reps. And then Cam Collier, do we have him? So we need to find a place for where Cam's going to be. Because he's the one guy that recently his numbers, he's not getting at bats. He can only play third base apparently. We'll play him at third base after this next 5-game stretch. So from there, what my plan is now is I'm going to simulate these next 5, and then we'll set the lineup for when we go live again. Probably going to go live on Monday, and then we'll finish this right here. We'll probably simulate 5, and then probably play one against the Guardians again, but we've already played those guys, so maybe we go Oakland. Maybe we simulate 4 games and then play against Oakland, and then we simulate out the rest of... Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. Probably play against Oakland and simulate the last 6 games. So that's what we'll do. So let's go up here. Let's simulate these games. Lost to Colorado 3-4. What we do in this one? 1 hit for Urshela, 1 for Steer, 2 for Stevenson. Stevenson is killing it right now. Crone, 1 hit, and then 1 for India. 2 doubles for Urshela, Steer, Crone, and India. Victor Castaneda pitched pretty well. 3 earned for Joe Jimenez. Really struggled there. Losing 4-10 this game against the Giants. De La Cruz goes 1 for 3. Grichuk 1 for 1. Urshela 1 for 1, and then Stevenson 2 for 3. 2 for 3 for CJ Crone, so he's starting to improve. And then India and Senzel each with a hit. Home run for Stevenson. Jonathan Heasley allowed 2 earned. Lucchese allowed 5. That's real bad. Justin Dunn pitched pretty well. Carl Edwards 1 earned. So Dunn could be our long relief pitcher, I think is what I'm getting from this right now. I think Justin Dunn could be our long relief pitcher. Carl Edwards allows an earned run, and then Will Smith struggled, and Austin Davis is just lights out right now. 9-2 victory here, so we're going to see some offense, hopefully. 1 for 3 for De La Cruz, 1 for 4 for Steer, 1 for 1 for Stuart Fairchild, 1 for 4 for Tyler Stevenson, 1 for 1 for Grichuk, 1 for 3 for Hendrick, 1 for 2 for Chad Pender, 2 for 3 for Jesse Winker, 1 for 4 for Jonathan India, and then 2 for 4 for Nick Senzel. Home run for Stuart Fairchild and Jonathan India, double for Stevenson and Grichuk. An error for Matt McClain. So what did Matt McClain do here? He went 0 for 1. Okay. And then pitching, Joey Lucchese goes 4 innings, no earned. Victor Castaneda, no earned. Could be a starter for us. Petty. Only dude that struggled was Joe Jimenez. Austin Davis, again, 1 inning of work, dominated. Has not allowed a run. Game here against Chicago, we do win this one. We're 5-9 here in spring. Ellie De La Cruz with 1 hit. Matt McClain with 1. Urshela with 1. Noelvi Marte with 1. Stevenson with 1. India with 1. Heriberto Hernandez with 1. Jake Fraley with 1. Which Jake Fraley's kind of struggling right now. Jesse Winker with 2. And then Spencer Steer with 2 as well. Any home runs for us? Home run for Ellie De La Cruz, Noelvi Marte, and Heriberto Hernandez. So all the young guys. Andrew Abbott, 4 innings, 1 earned. Could be a starter for us. Justin Dunn struggled a little bit. Williamson, really good outing for him. Carl Edwards, Joe Jimenez, and Alex Reyes all go 1 inning. And Jimenez allows another run. One last simulated game here against the Mariners, and we win this one 4-1. Matt McClain with a hit. Stevenson, Heriberto Hernandez with a hit. Encarnacion Strand with a hit. Steer with 1. Randall Grichuk with 1. Grichuk's now up to 300 hitting. Winker 1 for 1. Chad Pender 2 for 4. So now we're seeing a battle between the two. Marte 1 for 4. And then Stuart Fairchild 0 for 4. Apparently that puts us Batting average down to 217. We'll look at that in a second. Home run for Encarnacion Strand. And then looking at the pitching, Brandon Williamson pitched really well. Victor Castaneda. Chase Petty pitched well. Carl Edwards, Phil Bickford, and Alex Reyes with the save. So from there, we're going to end this off. We're 15 games into this. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games left. So 26 games pretty much in the spring. All right, so let's go up and look at the pitching rotation, see how everybody's doing. Castaneda's pitching well. Pretty much this is to find out who is going to be our 4 and 5 pitchers. Jonathan Heasley's pitching really well. Lucchese struggling a little bit. Andrew Abbott's pitching well. Williamson, liking what I'm seeing. Victor Castaneda's pitching good too. Justin Dunn could be a long relief, but I don't know. Chase Petty and Santion kind of struggling. Let's go ahead and get Santion and Petty swapped just because yeah, let's do something like that because I want to get some endings with Santion. Brad Hand is pitching pretty decent. Will Smith is struggling. Austin Davis still dominant. Carl Edwards Jr., Joe Jimenez. Let's go Joe Jimenez. He's only pitched 5 innings, so I guess it's not even. He just really is not doing good. Phil Bickford. Let's swap these guys. Do something like that. Jimenez get less innings, I hope. So those guys right here, we're not worried about these guys. But right now it looks like Jimenez and Will Smith will not be making the big league roster. Lineups here, looking at the at-bats. Austin Hendrick only 23 at-bats, but I'm not too worried about that. India getting his at-bats, they're getting better. And then Senzel's batting 259. Will Benson still without an at-bat is just kind of crazy. Let's just keep it going, I guess. Rochella, Pender and Grichuk have about the same amount of at-bats, so I think that's fair. Plummer's struggling. Stuart Fairchild, I guess, is struggling. Let's swap him out with Stevenson in that position. And then McLean, like what I'm seeing. I'm liking the opportunities he's getting. Man. Hernandez, I think, will be our starting catcher more than likely. The one guy I need to get some innings for is probably going to be... the way Steer is playing is really good. Let's go ahead and get some more innings with Cam Collier out there. Other than that, I think that we're seeing pretty consistent stuff. Let's go to top prospects. I'm interested in this. Ellie De La Cruz, Marco Bautista, Cam Collier, Noel V. Marte, Edwin Arroyo. Those are our guys. Look at the statistics here. Stevenson, Steer, and Grichuk all batting 300. Guys that are struggling. Nick Plummer struggling. Christian Encarnacion is struggling. Cam Collier, Hendricks. Fraley struggling right now. CJ Crone is struggling. These negative WAR guys are the guys that are probably not going to be... I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I wanted to look at this. At-bats versus lefties. The problem is Fraley's got 30 at-bats versus left-handed. I'm sorry. He's only got 1 at-bat versus lefties. Okay, so that's what we want. The guys that should have the most at-bats against lefties should be Randall Grichuk, Chad Pender, which they do. One thing I wanted to look at here is home runs. Who leads? CJ Crone, and then Heriberto Hernandez with 2. And then Tyler Stevenson with 2. And then here's our guys with 1 home runs. Ellie is not doing too bad, but he's not doing the greatest either. Who's hitting the ball the hardest, pretty much? Stevenson, Hernandez, crazy. And then pitchers here. Carl Edwards, Joey Lucchese, Austin Davis is just, it's incredible. Graham Ashcraft, look at that whip. Austin Davis is one of our best. That's Brad Hand is pitching well. I think Brad Hand will be starting in the bullpen for us. Austin Davis is incredible. Incredible stuff out of Austin Davis right now. We'll keep an eye on him. But that is going to do it for this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And then the next live stream, like I said, will simulate up until this game right here against the Oakland Athletics. It will be Brandon Williamson, I guess, again on the mound. Nobody probably wants to see Williamson in that situation, I guess, again. If I say I guess again one more time. So we'll maybe swap them right here on the 18th. We'll swap some pitchers on who could be healthy. And then that way we don't have to see Brandon Williamson again, but we'll adjust as we go along. But that is going to do it for this live stream. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a like. And I will see you guys sometime soon, probably on Monday, for the final live stream before we head into Season 2 of the Cincinnati Reds franchise. That's going to do it, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys later. See ya.